Hey everyone, this is DayTraderRockStar, and I'm bringing you a market update video for Friday, September 7th. We just finished a fantastic day in the markets. The market exploded this morning. A lot of connections to the ECB press conference, Draghi, the bond buying program. We had some good data points come out today on ADP and continuous claims, initial claims. So everything came together for a huge day, and you know, this is a chart I sent out last week when we sent out the watch list and stuff. And I talked about this divergence, this stochastic divergence, which is a very powerful move. And basically, we look at when the stochastics were up here in an overbought level, or started turning down, and we look at the price level, and actually move that over a little. That should be right about there, right here. We start looking at that price level and seeing, from this level, basically a sideways trend. It's not a real direct trend, but compared to the trend here in the stochastic, you could come down and slowly grind down, or you could come down and move up, or you could come straight. And this is a pretty fast pullback. So, because of the speed and the way that pulled back and the sideways action, we didn't get that effective pullback. Here you got a nice pullback. Here you got a nice pullback. Pullbacks usually line up perfectly with the directional flow of the stochastics, but once you start to see something a little bit different, it's called a divergence, and that sideways divergence versus the pullback here was a good clue that something was going to happen to the upside. Mostly that's a bullish setup. So that's what we have going into tomorrow. We did break out the 52-week highs, I think 2008 highs. The big call is, do we consolidate? Do we push forward? I think we move a little bit further tomorrow. We had a good ADP employment number. We're probably going to have a good non-farm payroll number. We have the president on tonight accepting his nomination. These things coming together usually are bullish for the market. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But the key is making money in this market, so it's important to find the setups. Now, I got a couple setups for you going into tomorrow. Here's one you really can't. This is one that we got into earlier in the week, and it's really ZNH, China Southern Airlines. And the reason was it's just the typical oversold stochastic trend line, or a secondary indicator. In this case, it's a support line right here. And you can see each time we came down to that level, we bounced. Here we threw it a little, but the key was having oversold level here. Oversold level here, and yet it moved. It was oversold for it embedded for a while. It did embed there, and usually I don't like that. We embedded a while here, and again we are kind of embedded here. So, but it does look like there's a good shot. We started pushing up today. Volume is starting to pick up. I think this one is just a good candidate for another dollar to the upside. Very easy trade, but again, you can't really, you got to be in it to get the gap here, and I think we'll get the gap up tomorrow. TTWO, just a nice chart, a nice flag. Stock that has some interesting insider rooting for it. There's some hedge funds into it. There's some, again, the Take-Two Interactive just came off of an inverted head and shoulders bottom, first pullback. Really a sideways grind here, and this is a different type of stochastic setup here. We're starting to see, we're not even really seeing this pull back too hard, and in that case, it's fighting here. It's fighting. It's flagged out. It hasn't really lost anything. This has all the characteristics of a move higher. It's in that low price range. I don't typically like this, but Take-Two Interactive definitely looks like a long at this point on that breakout. And the breakout would really, I would, say that long would be triggered at yesterday's highs, and we'll just give you like 1045ish, 1045ish. ARG in this one, just an update. Again, what do we talk about mostly here? Day Trading Radio is just recognizing the trade setups. Getting up, waiting for those setups to come to us, come to me, come to you, come to anyone. Someone brings it up, we review it, we see if there's a good trade in it. It usually is. If we're bringing it up, we know the criteria, what we're looking for. How to recognize those channels. How to do the pullbacks. We're just waiting for this stuff. Boom, we're waiting for it. Boom, we're waiting for it. So again, first break. This is what I call, and this is the other one I wanted to do. We did ARG is another one. I'm going to do a video on this probably tonight. But this is what I call the channel breakout, first rotation or first pullback and a 180 pullback on the stochastic. So basically, what you're doing is it's a change of trend, which is really the breakout of the channel. The first move up and the first pullback, which really defines the new channel. You know, lots of times that defines the new channel. And so you're always trying to time, when do you get in at this level? What's the best level? Well, we don't know that line's going to be there yet, so I wouldn't put that there. It's not like it's telling me that line. But what is telling me here is that we're pulling back and getting oversold. So right at this level, right in this level here, you'll give or take a couple days, we're definitely getting oversold, and your probabilities are getting better and better because we're definitely holding off of recent lows, which is very bullish. And this is typical. We see this over and over again. So, you know, this is what we're looking for. This is the criteria: channel breakout, first pullback, stochastic, you know, rotation, and then the bounce, and then the follow through. So ARG is another one of those setups, and looking for follow through. Baidu talked about taking that scalp. We took options today on that, scalp the weekly options, and it worked out good. Put in a nice candlestick here. Baidu is known for its good reversal candles. You can see one here. You know, every time you close strong in a stock, it's usually an indicator of follow through. Except in this case, it wasn't really a big candlestick, but this one looks much better. Yeah, that's a really nice one. We're coming off, and there's just a lot of news out here. So recently took out the recent lows, shook out some weak hands. We're definitely oversold on the daily, which is good. And look where that thing bounced. We bounced off a high probability setup where the daily and the 60s lining up right here. So the gap down was definitely a buy signal on this setup. And from that point on, we rallied. And it does look like, and here it was. This was your setup. This was a classic setup on Baidu. And it closed into highs, and you know, the follow through, I'd wait for another good setup. You know, I'd wait for that. It does look like, you know, maybe a little pullback tomorrow morning. You know, it's hard to say. I'd like to see something set up properly on that again. All right, here is COP. I wanted to talk about the COP because this is a stock we identified yesterday, and again, identified this by, again, one of the first trading techniques is the lower trend line pullback, stochastic pullback bounce, and just establishing that and seeing the pullback and being that, you know, that's your best opportunity right there. So yesterday, you know, called that you know, that area right there. I got out of it. I kind of like, you know, don't know why I got out of it. I don't even know why, but from that point on, it was just you know, it gapped up and it ran. The market helped a lot on that. But the other one we got into instead and held over was what was that? Occidental Petroleum, OXY. I just had 50 shares on that, and OXY. And what I liked about this is we started, you know, chopping around here on the 60-minute chart. We pulled back. We got oversold on the 60, but then again, you're looking at the daily just getting oversold. So it was really a dual stochastic daily high probability setup. A nice pullback in Oxy. It was just a matter of waiting for the signals. You had the signal on the 60 and the daily, and again, the 60 was where we got into it. Back here, we sold it today, so it's, you know, but that's, you know, that was the signal. It was over down here in the lower part of this channel line. Yeah, it was flushing through it, but again, taking this in consideration and taking some other things in consideration, it was worth it. OXY. Here's a good one coming up. Now, you can see here's another example, that 60-minute pullback, stochastic pullback. And how do we recognize that? Let's take a look. Well, look at this. We got 1, 2, 3 pivot areas. 3 defined pivot areas. That's all you need. All right, that's really all you want to have. Because now, wherever my I'm not going to go any further. You know, when you get that bounce, you could always just look at it, you know, the next time you go up to either level. So, you know, again, 60-minute chart, I am waiting for this to play out. I have a couple different levels. 1548 would be a level, which is not that far underneath us. But look at the daily here. The daily is a perfectly formed wedge pattern. This is a really nice wedge pattern. We're already starting to get that bounce off the bottom part of this. We're in that 65 to 75% area of the wedge where we want to see that breakout. We got a daily stochastic crossover. Again, the 60 is a little extended. That's why I said if we did get a pullback to here, I'd be all over this. It would be a best bet. This would be good to go. But you're in the zone right now, so this is definitely trade on this one. Any type of pullback, as you get closer and closer to this level, your risk is going to come out of the trade. So, you know, get it down here, anywhere near there. Might not even get down. It might not get past this level here, but I would, you know, and I will take this trade. I'd love to see it just come down off of this and bounce. You know, confirmation is always another thing to wait for. You could buy going into it, but also you could buy as it's coming up, because that would be a great, you know, in some cases that might be the safest play, because the bounce off of this is almost ready to, you know, that would just be a clean cut buy signal just for a push up here. I don't know. I'm looking at this veil for the next couple days. It looks really good. All right. Here's my cheapie for the day and for the week and maybe for next week. All right, here we go. I brought you this one stock, and we've been following it, and it's been just outperforming and continue to flag up. We looked at it. We found it first during one of the first flags, traded that, and then you know, watched it move up here, watched it flag out here. I think we got another trade on it, and it just continues to move up here. But so let's take a look at RTK, which is the parent company of that stock, and look at the price level here: $2.30, $2.29. It's quite a bullish chart. You know, it honestly is. Even though you know, we have no real definition here, it's chopping around. We're starting to turn back up. This has a feel for of a cup and handle, which is a continuation pattern similar to this right here. A little pullback and then a boom. It seems to be acting the same way. I'm going to look for that breakout here. $2.40. You know, I keep people away from stocks under at least under $5. You know, the cheaper the stock, you tend to get in a little heavier, and you can get hurt a little bit more, especially if you just, you know, the reason you're getting in is because you're thinking you're going to get more bang for the buck. Well, remember, the bang could come too, not just the buck. And it's always better to stay to the high probability setups of the bigger quality stocks. You see them work out all the time. You know, that's what we see each and every day. You know, and it's great to be able to see them before they happen. And that works out even better, because then you plan out your trade. COF here, waiting for this one to break out. Recently had a spot secondary. Didn't do anything to the stock. We knew it's going higher. Closed up a little bit higher here today. Love to get some follow through and make this one run to the border. One of the best financials out there. Take a look at that WFC and Goldman here. Really exploded to the upside. So again, the banks could get some follow through. Just got the crossovers on those. RTK went over that, and then again ExxonMobil recent breakout, beautiful flag, pullback. Again, these are just classic. This is what you want to look for in a perfect flag. A nice pullback and a stochastic pullback. And this is even better because remember we talk about a downward move, you see that call stochastic. Here we had a nice call stochastic up on the upside, and we had this nice breakdown. And this usually represents, you know, a fast 180 reversal up. This usually represents a fast move up. So I think we're going to get some more follow through on ExxonMobil too. So ExxonMobil looking really good, just getting going with stochastics. And that's it. So that's it on the watch list. Just want to announce we got the Ultimate Trader Showdown Finals, me against Airman, coming up next week. I'm going to announce that date. You know, working on our two camps are working on date and time. Having a hard time coming to a decision, but I would make sure to definitely stay abreast of the situation. I'll be updating you on any situations that develop. Airman, DayTraderRockStar, head to head, win Rockstar's money. We both start off with fully funded accounts. We trade against each other. The winner takes half the profits. All right, and Airman worked his way through the Ultimate Trader Showdown Challenge. He got himself right to the top. One is a tournament of 8. We're going to start another tournament of 8. So be sure you sign up to the Ultimate Trader Showdown, and you can be part of that. That's at ultimatetradershowdown.com. In case you want to know. And then what else? Another announcement. Oh, you know, I opened up the Short Trader account. It's working fine. I've been doing a lot of the scalps that we do intraday off of it. I haven't had a problem with it yet. I even traded some options today. It was a little hard to read what option was, but I just had to learn the proper codes and stuff, so it was really not the fault of the... I figured it out after. I just had to realize that I was looking at weekly options and not monthly options. But anyway, looks really good so far. Having no problems. And good. I'm trading in that account under the 25 Gs, so I'm testing out the no pattern day trading rule doesn't apply for that, so I have no problems trading in and out, in and out, and in and out on that platform. So check it out. That's it. I'll see everyone in the markets tomorrow. Friday, be there. Be square. Having a great time over there. Had a good day today. I'll talk to everyone soon. Bye. Just in case, daytradingradio.com.